Hi guys, we're back again with some short videos. This time kind of a series of questions that we are continually asked. So I am Wendy Van. I'm a counselor by training. I'm also a reverend, and we offer these videos just to help people with their daily lives. It is based off of information that has came to us over time, especially through Alex. And this information is how we kind of live by. You take whatever resonates with you. If it's any part or all of it, then we hope that helps in some way. If not, then I'm sure you can find something that does resonate with you. This is my son, Alex Van.
I've been helping people since I was pretty young, getting guidance from guides and other spirits who were helpful. So, pretty experienced in that area.
For a very long time. It was a skill that he never shut off. It was always been with him. And really, in his preteens, he began to help others along the way. So today, we're going to talk about what is a soul. What does that even mean when people say you have a soul? And for me, Alex, what I always think of is that we're basically energy bodies and that we come from Creator. So Creator spark is within us. And so we also have the ability to kind of create the life we want, primarily through our choices and free will. But the essence of the being I see is kind of a energy being. I think our eyes are kind of the same lifetime after lifetime, and our personalities are kind of the same. And we get that from kind of our first lifetimes or lifetimes that are really significant to us. That's how I see a soul, but let's see what Alex says.
I remember you talking about the eyes thing a lot.
Yeah.
She's had a couple experiences where she's seen people's eyes and they're always the same. I always thought that was very funny and very cool. Everything so far, yeah. There is also the aspect of, you said the first lifetime, and that also determines kind of the soul's form and the shape it takes. So whenever I go through the experience to connect to spirits, they always come to me in different forms. And the form that they come to me is usually defined by whatever is the first or the most prominent lifetime for them. The soul can appear as whatever they want. They have that ability, but they tend to take a form for visual representation from whatever they feel identifies them the most. And that could take the form of, if they were a heavenly being from heaven, then they take the form of an angel. If they come from other places, let's say they come from the place where like fae and elves and dwarves live, they take that form. Or if it's a human lifetime, then they'll usually take the lifetime associated with, let's say they were a Nordic warrior back in the day, in their first lifetime. They're probably going to come as that Nordic warrior, maybe in different clothing, but as that original appearance.
So, because we're energy being, we can change those forms. And then primarily, though, if you're working with someone who is trying to connect with a deceased person, then many times they'll show up in the form that that person would know them as, like their grandparent or father or
mother. To make it the easiest.
Yeah, to understand the link.
Because the key in the important note is communication for basically every soul. They kind of just need to be heard, especially in moments like that. So whatever it takes to do that, they're going to.
You know, one of the things that stand out also to me with souls is that they have their own journey. You know, we don't think about, we think we're here for a journey, we're here for learning. And we don't realize that our soul is actually here for learning. So that old saying about we're not humans having a spiritual experience, we're a spiritual being having a human experience. It is our soul that's here learning.
Mm-hmm.
And our soul set out on its, creative lifetime with certain things that it wanted to understand. And every time it chooses to come here as a lifetime, it is picking something it wants to understand. Now, that may be difficult lessons. That may be loss, betrayal, abandonment. It may be something that's recurring over and over in your life. It's because the soul wants to understand this in a very deep way. So that's sometimes a little difficult for people to grasp.
It's a little difficult to grasp. Also, like, the question could be asked, like, why don't we remember any of that then?
Mm-hmm.
It's because usually around 6 or 7, you forget it. Because you're so entrenched in the world at that point that it's like, this is where I am now. And then that information starts to recede into the back of your mind. And you don't remember that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not necessary to know the grand scheme of the universe to be a baker in the middle of New York City. It's not necessary for that.
Right. And I think that's a good point, because at that time we are really more entrenched in the conscious mind, and we begin to really tell children that what they're seeing or experiencing or feeling isn't really there. And so they begin to close that connection to subconscious mind.
And with that close connection, a lot of people, especially when we start to give this concept to people, this idea that your soul has its own journey, think like, oh, the soul is separate from me. That's not true. You get most of your personality effects from your soul in the first place. If your soul has had 10 or so different lifetimes as, let's say, an accountant, then you're going to have a preference for numbers and order and things, and your soul is going to very well know how to manage those things, and that'll be a natural skill for you because you've done it 10 or so times, and it's natural.
Familiar. Yeah, that's excellent. Anything else you want to say just on what soul is?
Do we want to talk about the creative aspect of it?
That could probably be a whole video itself. But we are going to do quite a few videos on the creative spark and how we are creating the life we want, and how do you get into that creative flow to do anything. And to me, those are key things that God gave us. Creativity, because that's what He is. He is the creator of the universe. And free will, that choice. And to me, those are central to what the soul is.
Mm-hmm. I agree with this, yes.
Yeah. So I think that those things, just remember those things, because we're actually going to make videos just on the creativity you have in your own life. You are creating. You are the author of your life.
Yeah, so as a precursor, look forward to that one.
Yeah. And about free will. You also have those free choices, which we have a little bit of that in the first few videos. But we love you guys. Love to you all. And we'll be back with another question.